Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our XRAI podcast. Like not podcast, but like a weekly news. Yeah, today, we are going to talk about Meta Connect. So Aditi, what do you think about Meta Connect?
Well, Dominic, I think it's finally the law. There's a few very interesting things. At the top of my mind, of course, is the Orion glasses that they debuted, and it's one of the things that I really wish I could try myself. Um, and I am of course interested in the 3S as well. Um,
Oh,
right? Which is I feel like it's an interesting strategy. Apple released Vision Pro at
yeah,
2,400 and Meta still hitting the kind of the low cost part of the market. So
yeah.
I'm very interested in that, and I think that there's probably a few other updates as well, avatars, the Llama AI and stuff. So
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
for the package. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I went there because like Wednesday, I
Mhm.
morning I have class. I need to teach in community
Mhm.
college, Kenyatta College. So
Mhm.
I went there kind of like a 2 hours only. I get a lunch and
Yeah.
then only walk around. And Thursday I went there a little bit earlier,
Okay.
and I kind of get because I wanna submit one of my app to lifestyle app.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I was more focusing on that session. After that session, I was walking around and say hi to some of my friends, and I just went home. I didn't really. I tried Meta AI, and
Yeah.
I missed because I missed the Orion keynote presentation. So when I
Yeah.
went home, or like yeah, and I
You saw it
rewatched.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it later. So I wouldn't say that I had full experience, but I can share what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
And
yeah,
Dominic, can
I
I
did it. Yeah,
Yeah, can I ask you also?
yeah, sure, sure.
I think the idea of like going to Meta Connect is probably very interesting for many people. Can you tell us about like did you apply to go? Can you just get
Oh,
a ticket to go? Like how does it work for developers?
oh, yeah, I think I submitted yeah, I because they before Meta Connect, they have a sign up page.
Mhm.
It's I don't know, it's like a because I have a lot of people who are related to XR fields, and they will share links of sign up page. So I just scroll it and I keep seeing the same thing. So sometimes I just like click in and I start signing up from my friend's link. I was not even aware of it. I sign up, and then later on I remember I didn't receive the kind of invitation like a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
Um, so I was start worrying about, oh, am I not being picked? So that's
Mhm.
why I use another account and sign it again. So I actually signed twice.
Got
And
it.
then I think 1 to 2 weeks before Meta Connect, I got invitation. It's kind of like last minute because I saw some of my friend already post like, oh, I got in. I
Yeah,
will be da 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 da. And I
yeah,
was like, oh, I haven't received it. Okay, never mind. I just watched the live. And
yeah.
I think like probably they have some badge, right? They kind of look up your background and then give the most high level people access first, and
Sure.
then give like a me like more like independent I would say XR creator or something. To be honest with you, I really don't know how to title myself because right now
Hmm.
I'm teaching,
Mhm.
right? If you see my title, you couldn't
You're,
even see
you're
any product related stuff. I was like, should I write down that I'm an XR creator? Because
you're an educator as well.
yeah, I feel like yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough because I feel like I'm all over the place a little bit.
Yeah.
So
You're multi-talented.
I don't know. I have no idea who I am. So yeah, so basically it's all over the place. So I got accept from one
Mhm.
because I submit two, right? One
Mhm.
is a Hummingbird, and I use the other one. I use XRAI Pro.
Mhm. Mhm.
XRAI Pro Business email. It seems like I forgot it's a Hummingbird. One of it got accept, and the
Okay.
other one I want to log in because I was like, okay, probably two of them I accept, but it seems like they do dive into who you are. So they
Got
combine those two.
got it, got it, got
Yeah,
it.
so wow, I was like, oh, I thought so I just picked one, but
Mhm.
actually they dive into who you are or
Who you
something.
are.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe use AI to pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's more like you need to sign in. You need to
Mhm.
sign, and then they will probably allow some high level people
Mhm.
go first, and
Mhm.
then if they have some
Mhm.
other
Yeah.
yeah some other left
Yeah.
spots that will slot you in if they
Okay.
think you are related to this field. Yeah.
Got it, got it. So you actually have to make like an application for it, and then they dig into it, and then based on that, they kind of go through it in phases. It sounds like okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I think if you add a lot of people who is more marketer, right? Because I would say that there are a lot of influencer. They are
Mhm.
not necessarily extra creator, but they have tons of information.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I normally just scroll my LinkedIn as my daily news, and I saw tons of people share the link,
yeah,
and I click in, and I just register. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay, very exciting. Love it. Yeah.
cool, cool. What do you? What's your take on? What's your take on for Meta Connect?
So I think the Orion glasses are very exciting,
Mm,
um, because you know for many people outside the industry, but also inside the industry, like that's the vision of what everyone wants, right?
yeah,
But no, but it just felt like it's never coming, or it's always 5 years away. It's always 5 years away. It's never here. So
yeah.
I think the fact that it's a tangible prototype is so powerful. Uh,
Yes.
and I think there is a lot to be said about uh, even in like the phone industry and in many industries, right? Like the watch industry,
Mm,
um, it did happen that kind of the first a first convincing version came from maybe some company, not Apple usually, and then there's like usually Apple is a really fast second mover,
mm,
fast follower kind of thing.
mm,
Um, so I'm interested in. I want to try the product myself. I'm really interested in how the industry is shaping,
mm.
and the thing that I most want to know, just as a potential consumer right now, is what are all the barriers stopping this from becoming commercial? I
Oh.
know there's so many things that are really difficult, and I don't know what they are, and I really want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think for your question, I think Apple before a long time ago, it was the most innovative company when Steve Jobs create Apple.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally think Steve Jobs is more founder mode. You know, in Silicon Valley, we are discussing like somebody, I think somebody really big and propose there's founder mode and manager mode
Okay. Yeah.
company. So founder mode is more founder get into the project, and founder has like
Mm-hmm.
a huge power of
Mm-hmm.
final say. And
Mm-hmm.
also founder is the DNA or is the biological parent for this
Mm-hmm.
company. So if founder said that, oh, we need to rebrand, and founder has like a lot of like power to do a lot of difficult changes.
Mm-hmm.
And the versus management
Mm-hmm.
if you read a lot of management magazine, or if you got, I believe you got a lot of training for manager. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have. I'm more like a front creator directly
Mm-hmm.
to more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I read some management magazine or something, and it seems like you need to let your people to do things. For
Yeah.
example, like you need to be humble, and that people have different voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to tons of different podcasts. It seems like for manager mode,
Mm-hmm.
manager is more like, oh, I am like kind of like a keep up the process, right? Or make sure things is work, but not necessarily direction.
Yeah.
Direction will let your staff to have different opinion, right?
Yeah.
It's more democratic, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the thing about people concern or some VC concern is that if manager, for example, oh, I let my top engineer to decide things, or
Mm-hmm.
engineering manager to decide things. And
Mm-hmm.
my engineering manager will do the same thing to his manager, engineer
Reports.
stuff. So the power is passing, and at the end, your intern is doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. So it's very interesting. For example, yeah, like management, for the investor, that
Mm-hmm.
what they are worried is that manager doesn't have more like a did
Control.
not really controlling the vision,
Mm-hmm.
and pass by to the your staff, and lower. There are a lot of hierarchies, right, to
Mm-hmm.
secure the manager's spot. So
Yeah.
the job duty actually, execute will
Yeah.
be passing to the bottom line, which
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
that a manager,
Mm-hmm.
to your intern has
Yeah.
10 layers.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so it becomes your interns are deciding your future, the
Yeah.
future of the company,
Yeah. Yeah. I
because
see that.
intern will, or like a junior developer will be the one that execute everything, and
Yeah.
senior is more like assessment or
Mm-hmm.
something, is trying to, it is trying to let the work pass down, and
Yeah.
there are tons of layers.
Yeah.
And for founders it's more like a, yeah, they have the final say, and
Mm-hmm.
they dive in. For example, like Elon Musk said that if one of his like a SpaceX
Mm-hmm.
engineer
Mm-hmm.
quit, he
Yeah.
can quickly jump in and replace that
Sure.
engineer.
Sure. 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 Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really impressive, right? So that's a founder mode, and Elon Musk even sleep on the floor of Tesla
Mm-hmm.
factory. Yeah, it's like a very dedicated and has tons of power for changing a lot of different direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Silicon Valley's like a VC are very admire the founder mode types of startup. They think that's where the innovation starts. And
Mm-hmm.
versus, I mean, they also said that at some point, the founder mode might need to slowly become a little bit manager
Sure.
mode when
Yeah.
it start expand. But if you see the most innovative company right now, for example, Meta, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The founder is still working, even
Yeah.
though, yeah,
Yeah.
even though it's more like a final decision, but the founder is still involving in the higher, the decision
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
Amazon, you see, Jeff Bezos already let a lot of people take over.
Yeah.
Microsoft, right, being taken over.
Yeah.
SpaceX, like whatever Elon Musk has, the
Mm-hmm.
company still he's the
Mm-hmm.
executive. So you see the innovation and also final say, or and also like the brand is more unique. So
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so you see like Apple start from founder mode to manager mode,
Yeah.
because Tim Cook is always more monetization.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for investor, they want guarantee or money. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want like a risk. For example, I put like a 100K, I want like as soon as possible it becomes 500K. So
Yeah.
investor is more like a number driven.
Yeah.
So I would say for Apple, they are seeking for increasing the ROI,
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
really about innovation, because innovation might fail.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
and take too much time to achieve
Okay.
the goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's, I think right now, yeah, that's why Apple is losing
Oh,
kind of
interesting.
innovation, just
Okay.
because I don't want to say from founder mode to manager mode will
Yeah.
destroy the innovation, but it seems like they care about money more than
Mm.
innovation.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
and
so
as
maybe
yeah,
dig
go.
like dig into that. Like I want to hear your opinions on that's a very powerful statement of like, and it's a very bold statement too of um like Apple is losing the innovation game. And I guess, do you mean like Apple is losing the innovation game to Meta or
Yeah.
other players as well? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So.
I remember Mark Zuckerberg say in some weird conference or some podcast, he
Mhm.
mentioned that Apple, like Meta, is kind of getting dominant in this new XR field,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Apple is losing. Why? Because they want things to be perfect. They launch too late.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
see, and you see like they they launch something so expensive that nobody can afford, and they are not really supporting any developers.
Oh, yeah. So what do you mean by that?
Yeah, for example, like at Meta Connect, you can
Mhm.
see there are a lot of panel talk that
Mhm.
is the speakers are from hackathon. For example, I
Mhm.
joined like a lifestyle program, like at the panel talk,
Yeah.
and they also have a program that is kind of connect if you submit your
Mhm.
team and your
Yeah.
idea, but
Yeah.
need to fit some certain criteria. And
Got
if
it.
it being picked, they will interview the entire team. And then later on, once you got picked, you need to incorporate first, right? And also mentor VC. They will provide VC
Mhm.
fundings, right?
Got it.
So yeah, and also they will provide mentorship, and
Yeah.
Meta will support to help
Mhm.
you to build your kind of marketing promotion for your app. So there are a lot of really good support, and also they have a lot of like a hackathon stuff,
Yeah.
right? So pretty much I would say
They're
they have,
building the community.
yeah, they are helping, and I would say Apple is not really doing those
Mhm.
stuff. They probably have one or two, but there's no continuing money
Yeah.
support or mentorship support. It's more like I give you a device. I remember when I joined like a Apple's lab.
Mhm.
Remember before it launched, it has a lot of
Yeah.
lab
Yeah.
time,
Mhm.
and then their word that I hear the most
Mhm.
in among their engineer
Mhm.
is that we are perfect. We
Oh,
are meant to be perfect. Everything you see here is perfect. And
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
All the
I
apps need to be
Yeah,
perfect.
Apple engineer. Yeah,
Okay.
we are known for our perfectionist.
Okay.
And sometimes perfectionists will kill the innovation, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know that I was struggling whether I need to submit my
App.
APK to SideQuest.
Okay.
And then I told myself, yeah, I need to launch a little
Mhm.
faster. At least I need to, yeah, because if
Even
I
if it's
keep
not perfect,
waiting,
just do it.
yeah, I was like very struggling. I was like, I know there are some like lighting problems or whatever, but
Sure.
I just like, let's just push it and slowly let's edit some version control or like change
Yeah.
the version. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think Meta this time, I think I forgot like the mantra, but I think Meta's mantra or
Mhm.
the core value is move fast and make mistakes.
Yeah, move fast and break things.
Yeah, break things. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a good point. So maybe tie it to like the devices that we see in Connect versus maybe the devices that we uh, like, Apple has a different strategy. Like they say that they never share when there's a device in prototyping, right? Like
Yeah,
Meta shared a prototype. Meta shared Orion is still a prototype. It's not a commercialized product, but they
yeah,
shared this. So maybe think about. I want to hear your perspective on that contrast too.
yeah. I think when I wrote my book, I
Mhm.
interviewed like some successful developer, right?
Mhm.
So for example, Thomas, he is the developer for Cubism and
Okay.
later on laser dance.
Okay.
So I asked him how he get the success, like
Mhm.
what's the formula. He said that he just spent 3 days and create
Mhm.
a quick prototype and put on LinkedIn or some Twitters, like some social media. And
Yeah.
he used social media platform for validation of his concept. If he
Got
saw
it.
a lot of people leave comments,
Yeah.
like it, he just keep building it.
Keep
So
keep going. Yeah.
he just saw something like a very quick something,
Yeah.
and people like it. If
Yeah.
people doesn't like it,
Yeah.
he just drop, right? Oh,
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
is not working. So
It's
he's
not.
like, yeah, he moved very fast. And at the
Mhm.
end, he got a lot of user feedback and keep
Yeah.
doing the user testing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so when he was building it, he keeps sharing every time he just keeps sharing. And
Mhm.
I think sometimes we are too worried about, oh, our ideas will be leaked or something, but actually
Mhm.
there's no new ideas in this world.
Yes, that's
Every
true.
Yeah, and idea is worth nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that, but for example, I'm
No,
doing
it's
it.
true. I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
Because the idea in your head is, in a sense, like there, I can have a million ideas in my head. The next person can have a million ideas in their head. It's worth very little when it's
yeah.
just an idea, but then putting it into execution kind of pulls that value out, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, you have an idea you share with everybody you thought, because we all project that other people will do the same thing as us. You thought
Hmm.
everybody has the same passion about this concept, but actually it's not.
It's
So
not.
you just share your work, right? And
Yeah.
then if people want to copy you, they if people copy you, the time they think about this, they're
Yeah.
already behind.
Yes, yes, that's so
Yeah.
true. That's so true.
Yeah.
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 And they might not have the same perspective as you, the same knowledge, education, like
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so you see, like Meta just share whatever. It's not really, mass production, and
yeah.
potentially, I would say it seems like according to the news, they are estimated to launch 2030 or
Okay.
2027 to 2030.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
the
Next five
reason,
years.
yeah, the I
Five,
think
6 years. Yeah.
yeah, I think the difference between hardware launch versus the software
Yeah.
launch is
Yeah.
because if you launch the hardware, it's irreversible.
Yeah.
You cannot reverse. For example, if people buy a glass, right?
Yeah.
The when it ships to the buyer's home,
Yeah.
it's very hard to update anything if something is the chips is not right or something
Sure.
hardware is not right. So
Yeah.
hardware thing needs to be 100% precise, very perfect. But for
Yes.
software,
Yeah.
since if you have bugs,
Mhm.
you can upload through the cloud and replace it. So
Yeah.
if you see Meta, when
Mhm.
they do the hardware, they will be very careful. If they
Mhm.
do the software, they just launch something is not
Yeah.
really working
Yeah.
and move very fast,
Yeah.
getting users. So I
Really,
think,
really fast. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So there's like I remember Jeff Bezos said that um, there are two types of decision. One is a
Mhm.
one-way door. It means
Mhm.
that you open the door, you go that way, you couldn't go back. And the
Mhm.
other one is two doors.
Two-way door.
Yeah, yeah, you go there and you can go back.
Come back.
So yeah, so I would say for the hardware is a one-way door. If you
Mhm.
want to shape in perfect, but
Yeah.
software is like if you launch it, you don't like it, you can reverse.
Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, so it's different approach, like a thinking slow and thinking fast.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it. And what I'm curious about, from your knowledge, from your thoughts, like what are the things they need to do still before making this commercializable? What's the blocker? What are they going to do in the next 5 to 6 years? Yeah.
I think first, if you see like what they do first, that they don't have killing apps for it. So
Oh,
that's why they are right now supporting a lot of MRAI
yeah. The
projects,
the
including
lifestyle.
lifestyle. Yes,
Yeah.
because you wear like the glass that you are wear, right? And you
Yeah.
want to make it like, oh, for example, I want a cooking. I press this, your current glass, I press it and I can
Mhm.
do things. So
Yeah.
lifestyle types of apps
Mhm.
will really fits when you wear it. Because right
Yeah.
now you see Quest, it's
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not many people need to wear that transparent normal glass, play games every day.
Yeah. That's true.
You
And
need to
and
live your
Quest,
life. Yeah.
you need to live your life. Yeah. And Quest is finally, it's like a headset. It's not glasses. And
Yeah.
yeah, there is a big difference. Okay, so you think that they're going to grow their app ecosystem. uh
Yeah, app ecosystem and also mass production. You
got
see, like all the chips and all the optical system.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe the first prototype, they
Mhm.
spent tons of times to make it, but
Yeah,
how can you reduce the mass production,
yeah,
manufacture? How can you
yeah,
assemble this
yeah.
without reducing the quality
Got it.
and while building the ecosystem, killing apps?
Got it.
Because I think it's very important for people to, for example, like a Magic Leap. Why it's
Mhm.
nobody is really using anything or like Vision Pro. The
Yeah.
reason why is that because there's no need, there's no
Mhm.
killing app. So
Yeah.
I think they wanna just like when they launch, there's already something that you can keep using it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And it's interesting. Like people talk about killer app, and I think that model is mostly true. Like they're talking about the killer app because laptops had a killer app, right? Like
Mm,
laptops had um the spreadsheet, I think,
yeah,
was seen as the killer app.
yeah,
And I I think one way to think of it is the app is so good that you are willing to shell out a bunch of money.
yeah.
Or the other way to think about it is, the apps are good. Okay, they're good, but and they're a bit better than your like using a phone or something. And the device is cheap enough and comparable enough that people will see it as the next replacement. So I don't know. I don't know which mode is going to be in. So yeah, I'm interested. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think if you see that Meta is putting a lot of money right now, is trying to create the so-called metaverse. Again, like going back, because
Mhm.
you see like from metaverse and
Mhm.
to metaverse fail, right? And
Mhm.
to lay tons of people
Yeah.
and to change to direction of AI. And
Yeah.
now they are focusing on Horizon
Mhm.
world. I
Horizon.
remember I joined one like a half panel
Mhm.
talking about how to kind of launch your kind of Horizon app to mobile. They
Yeah.
are focusing on the entire ecosystem from mobile
Mhm.
to more like a VR
Mhm.
Horizon. And
Mhm.
also, if you see recently, they changed the Quest
Mhm.
app to Horizon OS.
Got it.
So
Oh,
everything, it's like,
so wait,
give
what
me
do
a
you
sec. It's called Meta Horizon. Sorry.
mean Horizon? Okay.
Yeah,
So
so they wanna change the entire thing called Horizon. Yeah.
what's I don't know very much about that. Can you tell me about it?
Huh?
I don't know about that. Like what's happening?
Because I mean I am developing apps. So if you
Mhm.
go to before it's called
Meta
Meta
Quest OS?
Quest store or something like there's
Yeah.
a small icon you can download a lot of games on
Yeah.
your mobile phone, right?
Yeah.
Now it's called Meta Horizon. So
Uh,
Horizon was a small app in the Quest store. Now
yeah.
they take out Quest, this word, and
Mm.
replace with Horizon.
Horizon. Okay.
Yeah, so they want like for example, everything developer create is for Horizon.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, so Horizon will be potentially the future of
Potentially.
metaverse,
Yeah.
the meta's metaverse.
Yeah. Yeah. Meta's Roblox or something.
Yeah, something. So they are working on this, and I think, yeah, I mean the interesting thing is that sometimes if we see the history, sometimes if the founders'
Mhm.
vision is too ambitious and
Mhm.
the entire production was not there yet, we
Yeah.
always seem it's a failure. But if you see the transition,
Mhm.
sometimes the temporary failure, but if you keep working on it, it will be success, and your failure will be your legendary story, like your
Yeah.
biography. So
Yeah.
yeah, part of like a some Netflix kind of plot, like oh, make people feel like oh, empathize or something is it is more interesting to hear like a founder have some failure, misunderstanding,
Mhm.
and at the end become successful than just directly successful and there's no
Yeah.
block,
With
right?
no strife, yeah, no difficulty, no challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's sometimes being misunderstand or something, but if you really believe what you do is right, you probably need to insist. Because if you see a lot of like before Elon Musk wanna sell Tesla to Apple, right? And Apple reject. And now you see like, Apple cancel the Apple car and
Yeah, that's true.
Tesla is doing better than
Tesla's,
Apple.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
In
so
another
some
word,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
In another
cool.
word, maybe it would have been different. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to also any other topics you had, Dominique, or any other thoughts about MetaConnect?
I think for Meta Connect, the AR glass first, I think Meta Apple already set up a UI standard. So if you
Yeah.
see Orion's UI is
Mhm, mhm.
I feel like it's something very
Funny.
familiar.
Yeah.
I saw like a little circle icon was like a Snap Vision Pro,
Yeah.
but I
And
mean,
they have a gaze and pinch in 3S, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Orion.
Yeah, I think the types of like the wearable
Mhm.
EEG and also the hand
Yeah.
yeah, I really like this types of thing because I think controller
Mhm.
somehow, when I do the beta testing, I told my user that when you press like a button,
Mhm.
there will be an AI assistant. You can talk to it.
Yeah.
And when people jump in, just right before people jump in the headset, I told them press a button, there will be AI assistant. And then
Yeah.
nobody hit that button. These
Oh,
people just forget.
yeah.
When
Yeah.
you are in inside the headset, you forget everything.
Okay. There's so much stimulation, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and at the end, I asked like, hey, how do you feel about like da 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 da? And then
mhm.
they usually say, oh, yeah, I forgot to press that button. Nobody try it. And I was like, okay, even one button nobody can remember, so let's just
Mhm.
forget about it. So
Mhm.
I personally think that for all those buttons, it's
Yeah.
very hard to remember.
That's true. So you think like in terms of UI standards, Apple set a good standard, remove the buttons, remove the physical buttons, make it all kind of in the UI.
Yeah, like an eye hand, right? And
Hmm.
then I think for Orion, this types of like a scroll,
Hmm.
tab, up
Yeah.
and down, move around. I think those is pretty intuitive actually. So I think they pretty much figure everything out. But
Nice, nice.
now it's probably just mass production.
Mass production. Do you think there's a way for if someone wanted to try out the Orion headset, like did Meta announce anything or is
They said that internal staff, internal
mm,
employee will handpick
okay.
external people. So you probably need to know somebody inside
Yeah.
Meta and somebody, a decision maker, and grant you the access very, very hidden, not transparent. So
Mm, okay.
make some friends.
Make them.
I don't know. I'm thinking about I just do I think I'm working on like a VR stuff, but at some point, I mean, I'm also submitting my app to like a lifestyle program, but lifestyle program they want MR and AI. So I
Sure.
submit the variations of my original VR concept. And if
Mhm,
the MR AI got picked and
mhm,
got, a lot of support fundings, then
mhm.
potentially maybe that
It can migrate or
it
something.
can migrate because VR, imagine VR. What's the difference between VR and MR? It's more like, oh, MR can aware of the environment. So for example, what I can do is I can detach my buildings and I can make it wall, right? And this wall can match to whatever wall one, wall two in your environment. And you
Yeah.
can kind of somehow simulate. I still don't really know how to do it, but I
Mhm.
think it will have a way, for example, oh, I want Raven to be here, right? Oh, there's a window in your real room and the Raven will fly from the window. Something, yeah, it will simulate according to your real environment
Mhm.
and potentially AI can be live translation and also kind of like, oh, what's this word? Like a dictionary.
Mhm.
So maybe there's a different way of doing it, but I think Meta does provide more developer support
Developers. Okay.
than any other company. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Cool. Sounds great. Sounds great.
Cool, cool. Yeah, so I think yeah, I'm really happy to talk about like a connect, and I
Mhm.
think we are about to end the weekly news and about to jump into the next podcast.
Sounds
Next
good.
one will be Linda, and she is the researchers
Mhm.
for XR, so we can all
Yeah.
learn from her. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool,
Okay.
awesome. Bye bye.
See you.